When do you think Alibaba or other platforms like that will become mainstream here in the United States?
To the consumer or to the retailer as a sales platform?
Both.
I think the latter will happen sooner. In other words, as a sales platform for retailers, I think Alibaba is very interested in doing that. I think that's been very public. We're working with them now, just as an example, with 5 of our retailers, testing a product called ePass, which is a combination of payment and logistics that they put together that's very specific in terms of how it appeals to the account holders of Alipay in China. And we ran that as a test in Q4 with big retailers like Macy's and Saks and Bloomingdale's, and as well as some specialty retailers like Aeropostale and Ann Taylor. So I know they're very interested in helping facilitate the connection of brands to the Chinese consumer, and I think the way that they want to be able to do that is largely in the way Borderfree also works, is that sort of taking that pool of consumers and that pool of brands and finding the right way to bridge it in a seamless, sort of trouble-free, low-cost kind of way for the consumer. So I think that opening up China to American retail brands is something that will happen more quickly. I think looking at it the other way, I think that over time that Alibaba will come up with consumer-facing properties that in the U.S., either by organic growth or potentially even acquisition, I would think, to be able to sort of build that consumer base. I believe their aspiration is to be a global e-commerce company, not a Chinese e-commerce company. And so I think that they will find the right consumer front ends to put into the U.S. market. They do have a website called AliExpress, which sells tremendous amounts of stuff manufactured in China, but at retail transaction sizes, so you don't need to order 10,000 of a particular shirt or something like that. And I've seen on the rankings that the U.S. is moving steadily up as the #1, it's not the #1, but rising as a top destination for AliExpress orders, meaning that people are getting more and more familiar with that particular part of Alibaba Group. So I think over time the familiarity levels will come up. I think they'll invest one way or another, either organically or through acquisition in having the brands that consumers in the U.S. are familiar with.